Bonjour à tous et bienvenue à ma chaîne YouTube. Merci d'être ici et bon visionnage à tous. Today on my workbench I have John's Breckwell brand Pellet Stove Controller. As you can see, this is an older analog version, but it's still functional. John sent me this one because it had suffered some electrical damage and the auger system was no longer functioning. When I received it, I did some tests on it and I found that the convection or room fan was also not functioning. So I did some repairs on both of those circuits. Those are now functional and I'm ready to do final tests on the controller before I return it to John. As you can see, John's controller is mounted on my test system. My tester is made up of a few items. One of them is a faceplate which holds the controller and an auger motor at the back. The shaft from the auger motor comes out the front and I have an X marks the spot decal on it so you can see that spin when the auger motor is being called to drive by the controller. I also have 4 light bulbs at the back, and these 4 light bulbs simulate different functions of your pellet stove. This controller will not drive an igniter, so we will not see this first light bulb come on, but we should see the combustion, the auger motor, and the convection simulator light bulbs come on at different times during testing. At this point, I have John's controller connected to my tester, and the tester is powered up, so I can go ahead and turn it on, and then when I do that, we'll see a couple lights come on. First we see the combustion or the exhaust fan come on, and we see that the convection or room fan has come on in low position or low speed because that's where we are. I can rotate through the positions of the fan speed, and as we do, we see the intensity of the light bulb increase or decrease accordingly. I'm on low, B, C, and high. So you see the intensity of the light bulb has increased with every step, which means that the fan would be running faster. Let me go back to low. The next thing I can do, and this is very touchy because if it's an older switch, I can go to the high fan position, and when I do, we see the intensity of the convection or roof fan has gone to maximum. That is a touchy switch. I don't have a replacement for it, so all the controls that I get like this seem to have the same issue of a touchy switch position. So when I go back to the on position, everything is in normal, I'm in low. The next thing I can do is a manual feed switch over here, which will drive the auger. That is a momentary switch. So as I press it up, we see the light bulb come on. We hear the auger motor spin in the video. And I'll try to get my hand out of the way, but you see the X marks the spot decal spinning. So everything is functioning correctly there. So that's it for the manual tests on this controller. The last thing I can do is go to automatic mode. And to do that, I need to press on this switch right here called auger. When I do, the green light will come on. I'm in low position, so that will start a timer, and that timer will determine when the first automatic cycle of the auger will come on. So let me do that. There we have the green light has come on, and now we're waiting. But for this controller model, the wait for the first auger cycle is quite long. It's probably around 30 seconds. So let's wait for that to happen. We'll see that happen because we're in low position. The time before the first cycle is quite long. And the auger cycle itself won't be that long in relative terms. So let's wait for that to happen. Counting down the time. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Time is passing. Come on, let's go. There we are. The first auger cycle. We'll leave it for one more cycle. It'll be again a fair bit of time, about 30 seconds. Let's wait for that to happen, and then we'll switch to high. So there's the next cycle. So everything is correct, it's automatically running. So I'm going to switch to C this time, and we'll wait for that first cycle to happen. And we'll notice that the cycle is quite long and the off time is low. Long on time, low off time. Let's wait for that to happen for the first time. There it is. Notice how it's on for a long time. And when it finally does shut off, it'll just be for a short period of time. There it is. A short period of off time. There it was. If I happen to switch to high, the timer on it is basically disabled and the auger motor drive is on full time. That's pretty well standard for all the controllers of this model that I've seen. Notice that the auger just keeps running and running and running, and we do have the green light back here on to tell us that the auger is being driven by the automatic timer on the controller. If I go back to B, we'll try to strike a happy medium there. It'll be a while before it finally kicks into that mode. There it is. Notice that the light is now off. Next time it cycles on, we should see the light come on. There it is. We can see that. So that's it for the testing. Let me wait for that cycle to finish. John, there you have it. Your controller is once again fully functional. As I note, this switch is a little touchy, but there's not a lot I can do about that since I cannot source this switch anymore and replace it. Plus, it risks causing damage to the circuit board if I were to try to pull it out. So John, I do want to thank you very much for sending me your controller for repairs. I appreciate that very much. For all you other viewers out there, if you have a pellet stove controller of your own, whether it's a Breckwell, a Quadrifire, or USSC, I urge you to check out my videos on these, and feel free to contact me if you have questions or you need your controller serviced. I'd be more than happy to speak to you about that. In the meantime, I hope you'll take a few seconds to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, MonteStudios. I would appreciate that very much. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.